Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well. Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
Let me know if I'm not doing the formalities correctly here. So whatever. So we're, yeah.
I don't think
It's worse with every successive chairperson.
Yeah, it just gets watered down.
I don't think
Do more.
I don't think we have a quorum. So.
Oh, I think we do though, don't we?
Do you?
Dave, do we have a quorum?
Do we count? Did
I
you?
thought we were counting.
Yeah, yes, you have a quorum.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not sure both of us count.
Because you're 5 members and it includes a select board rep. So,
Okay.
I'm a resident.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
a member of
You're
the
member.
public.
Then we have a member of the public attending our meeting finally. There we go.
All right. So this is for realsies.
Yes. All right. So we'll do. We'll go around and do introductions. Whatever we do for the.
Just take attendance.
Take
roll
attendance.
Call.
There we go.
Take
Roll call.
attendance,
Yeah.
roll call, I guess.
Yeah.
Chris Weeks here.
Mark Layton.
Dan Chartrand, select board rep.
Julie Gilman, resident.
All right. So assignment takers.
Are you going to treat us like hostile witnesses? Yeah, I can. Yeah,
You want to take this? I think we're going to have a short meeting today. You and I we can.
it'll be on my phone. So if you see me on my phone, I'm not reading other stuff.
I can take some notes. We can just
All right.
just help me with. We'll combine efforts on that. We don't have Rob did not send out the past meeting minutes, so we don't have those to review or approve.
I've got it set from I think January or February meeting. January meeting, I think.
Yeah, we haven't. I don't think we got the.
Oh, did we approve those last meeting?
No, I got to get. I think it's one that I took for a meeting.
Okay.
Let me see. Last month was February. I don't think we
had a month off, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we got a couple. We got.
So the
catch
meeting
up.
before that, I took, and I still have them somewhere. That
Yeah,
I need
that was
to
last month.
submit.
Right. Rob took those,
Yeah.
and then prior to that, I don't.
I did the meeting before that, whatever
Okay.
time that was. But yeah, I'll try to scribble down some notes.
Sorry, I'll do the same. So we'll combine
On my
efforts on
phone,
that.
Yeah.
So we'll go through so on the agenda tonight, we had an update on facilities condition assessment, DPW maintenance projects, but we don't have any representatives from DPW today, so we'll table that.
That's why I came.
Parks and Rec update, Dave can help us with that. Public safety complex, we can talk about that. Review of the 2024 committee goals, I propose we probably table those.
Yeah. I was going to report those out.
Yeah, they were in the meeting minutes, and then we can talk about new business. So, Dave, do you have an update on facilities condition assessment? Is there anything you want?
Yeah, you had reached out, I reached out to Steve Cronin, the new DPW director, and Jeff Beck about attending tonight's meeting to give an update. Neither of them were available for tonight, but I told them that the next meeting is most likely Wednesday, April 24th, and they said that they both could attend.
Okay.
So if we have that meeting, they will both be available to provide that update.
All right. So DPW is scheduled to attend then. And we can go through there.
I'm good to go on the 24th, by the way.
Okay. To the next meeting.
However, we'll be on vacation.
What's a good cause?
24th.
This is the one I want to go to.
If you want to share any concerns, I'd be happy to
Okay,
carry the water.
all right. Good.
All right. So next on our agenda was Parks and Rec, the 10 Hampton update. You want to share anything you have there?
I don't know anymore. I think I provided an update at our last meeting, and but I don't know anything more. I'm not involved in that project, so I could have, get in touch with Greg and get you an update, but I don't have anything else. So maybe Julie or Dan will know more. I don't know.
I don't think we've had anything updated to the building. We've had updates to other parks, and when we just had the other night, the robot mowers. So it doesn't really have to do with the
Oh, the
building.
fields.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
supplying electricity out to the field.
Okay.
We haven't gotten any reports on 10 Hampton recently.
I think, Dave, in the last meeting you mentioned that the design was almost done, or it was, I can't remember the dates, but we could see, maybe take a look at that.
Yeah, that's what I was told, and I don't remember what the update. I remember getting an email from Greg, and I think I relayed it to the committee.
Right.
But that's the last time I was involved or had anything to do with that project. So I'll have to dig that out. I don't have it on me.
Okay.
I can try to get some as well.
Okay. So let's, Daniel, reach out to
Great.
Greg and ask it, because I would love to, I think as a committee, if we could take a look at what design documents they have, and we could maybe help them with a design review or provide some input if we were able to do that.
Was that, where was that in terms, have they started bidding that out, or? I don't even remember where they were at.
I think that they were still finishing designs when I remember back, that they were close to that, and that we were hoping to get an opportunity to take a look at that. So
Recently, they've come before the select board with a lot of Planet Playground stuff.
right,
And
Oh,
less about 10 Hampton Road. So.
yeah, and that was on the warrant article. Was that on the?
It did.
It did. It passed, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're basically, everything's lined up now for that to happen, but we haven't heard a lot about 10 Hampton, so
Okay.
let me follow up with Greg.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Do we know the date of that last meeting?
What's that, Dave? I didn't catch that.
It was,
February
Oh, wait a minute. I got it.
February 24th, right? Or 5th or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
20.
I can, this is what I got. I found the email from Greg. And, this is what I relayed. Working on final design with JSA. Should be able to go out to bid for construction in the next few weeks. Been working with Doug Eastman and Fire to make sure the building meets all the requirements to be code compliant. We'll be happy to start the final design with FAC when completed. We are working on required paperwork with finance to make sure the project meets all the requirements of the CDFA, because that's what they get funding from. And we'll be looking for someone from the FAC that will join us to review proposed bids to make sure we find the right contractor to complete the project. So I haven't heard anything since then, so I'm not. I don't know if I don't think they went out to bid at this point.
Okay.
thank you.
All right. So Daniel, check in with that, and again,
I'll check
we'll.
in with Greg, see where they are,
Right.
and remind him that we stand by,
I want to be there.
ready with assistance.
Sounds good. Yeah, love to take a look at it.
I'll let him know about that April 24th date.
Okay.
For our next meeting, in case he wants to be in on it.
Yeah, that'd be great. Public safety complex, Dave, you wanna?
Well, you're
Yeah,
Yeah,
first of all,
congratulations.
congratulations, everyone. That was great.
63%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't even close.
Good job, Dave, by you and the FD and the PD to get
Yeah,
out there and really push that.
a
So,
lot of work done on
Yeah.
that.
yeah, I think the public outreach was really
Yeah.
good on that. So, or at least it sounds like it was.
yeah, I think it was a collaborative effort. Everyone was out there. Fire was visiting. You know, you're out in the neighborhoods and meeting, you know, with folks from 277 Water. They did a presentation in Riverwoods. The select board was involved. The town manager was involved in that video. Police and fire. So it was really good to see a positive vote. So we had prepared last month by talking with the Facilities Advisory Committee. I asked questions about the various delivery methods for a construction project, from design, bid, build, you know, to a construction manager at risk, to hybrids, to design, build. And that was a very informative conversation for me, all you folks, you know, that do this for a living. And we've met internally and gone over that, and everyone had to watch the FAC meeting, last FAC meeting, to listen to the discussion about the various delivery methods and so forth. We've concluded that we are going to go out for an RFP. We have settled, I think we're going to go for the construction manager at risk delivery method.
Okay.
And I'm putting together a couple RFPs, and we're actually talking to the chair, Mark, tomorrow. We asked him to come in because we got a couple more questions that we have. We're kind of wondering, you know, what do you do? Who do you hire first? Do you put out an RFP for the CM? Do you put out for an architect? You know, do you have the CM help find the architect or vice versa? I mean, it's done both ways, or do you both at the same time? I mean, there's various ways we can go about it, but we're diligent. We're moving right ahead and should be, making decisions here and getting an RFP out in April.
So Dave, you're gonna put out an RFP for design too? Or are you saying
Well,
about
that's what we're going to talk to you about tomorrow to see if you have any insight, because I'm hearing some people get a construction manager on board, and then the construction manager helps them find the design team, or the other way around. It's like some projects do it this way, some projects do it that way. We're talking about pros and cons of each method. We wanted to pick your brain to see what experience you've had with those different approaches. I mean, I think you're a little different because you're private. Do you go through the whole proposal? I don't know your process.
No, we do. Yeah, we do. We'll do that. I mean, we try to. I mean, we have a process that we do go out. We do request for proposals and things like that. So we don't have to select the lowest price. We go. We have ways that we can go in with best value. We have the different criteria that we use. But I just want, so you are considering you're not staying with Valley Brensinger as the architect. You're considering.
Well, that remains to be decided.
Okay.
I mean, our purchasing policy requires that we go out to an RFP, because we did an RFQ originally for a site evaluation, a program and site evaluation. That was it. If we had, done an RFP that included future design services, but that's not what we're thinking. We did for a specific project, we hired them, and then we looked at our purchasing policy, and anything, this would require us to go out to a request for proposals. And we're happy to have LaValle Brensinger submit, but that process should be followed.
Okay. No, that's good. I just want to make sure that we get it in the minutes here. So,
Yep.
Okay.
Dave, I know a CM you could talk to if you want. They're in Massachusetts. They don't do work in New Hampshire, but if you want, I could try to set up a meeting if you had any questions for them. Obviously they would come at it from the CM bias, but I think they could give you some great information. They do tons of public work. So would you be interested in having a call?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
I'll see if I can set it up.
I've been talking to people. I've talked to the architects. I've talked to CMs. But I would be happy to talk to more because everyone has a little different take on it.
Yeah. And this one,
so-
they wouldn't be bidding on this job, so he'll be able to give you some pretty straight shooting, I would assume.
Great. Yeah, that would be very helpful.
Dave, do you know?
It's a big. Oh.
No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just we see it as a pretty. We've met internally with the manager, assistant town manager, the chiefs, the assistant chiefs, myself, Doug. So we finance, because we see this as a pretty big important project. We want to make sure we put a lot of conversation up front, a lot of effort in determining the best path forward. So in hopes of making it as smooth as possible. When we do decide, which way to go, and we're pretty much at the CM delivery, but now we could have some questions about, the RFP and so forth.
Yeah. Is there an end date that you have to meet to spend the money?
No, we haven't even, it's a warrant article, so, and we haven't even bonded yet.
Okay. All right. So you have flexibility in your schedule to allow for all this and this.
Yeah, like you don't have to be shoveling the ground in a year.
The CM route is that, reasonably you can expect to get in the ground next construction season, like even in the beginning of the season, because we're going to get a CM on board fairly short, in short order. Whereas if we did the design build, we wouldn't even have final design until next February. And then we'd go out to bid at the almost worst time of the year in March and April, when already, everyone has their year already scheduled. And, so we see this delivery method. So I guess my point is we see spending the money, fairly soon.
Yeah. No, I just didn't know if you had an end date that you have to spend it by or something like that. So.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That we have flexibility.
And then along the lines of who to hire first, I think, Dave, what I've seen traditionally is just if somebody is comfortable with one or the other, that's who they seem to hire first. So, like, I know one place, they have a CM that they're really happy with, so they keep going back to them, and then they'll hire the architect after that. So, yeah, I don't know if there's any set method for which one to pick first. It's just some people have already worked with somebody that they want to go back to, and that kind of dictates the order of the hire, I think.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to go with hiring the CM first, so they can advise on the architect that you end up they have to work with.
Yeah, you can do it both ways, right? You can have the design team help you select the right CM also, right? So so you can do it. You have flexibility both ways. I think it's to Chris's. You a lot of times selecting a CM is easier than selecting a design team. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, because like I said, usually it's somebody you've worked with before, but I don't know. Is there anybody that you've worked with recently that you would want back? Or do you know, Dave?
From what? We've never worked with a construction man.
Okay, all right.
It's been a while since we've done a new building, right?
Yeah. I think the library renovations, but that was really the library trustees, that kind of, so we didn't have.
And they had their architects, and the design before they ever went to the voters.
But I don't think that was a CM either. I think that was a GC.
Yeah, I think that's, they either they didn't do a design bid build.
Oh.
It was a hybrid type thing, because the SMART or SMRT or whatever the architect was like I think they might have been the CM, and they had, so it was that kind of delivery method. But we weren't, I wasn't involved in that.
Yeah.
So
what's your timeline too, Dave, on that? Just out of curiosity, like.
Timeline on what?
Next step, and what are you trying to sign up a SCM or an architect, or is the next step just to try to figure out who to hire first?
We were looking at, either whichever route we go, we were thinking making that determination within the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
And issuing that RFP.
Yeah.
And getting someone on board in like June, have them help us immediately with an RFP for the second half, because what I understand of this and the research I've done, collaboration between the two is paramount. That's why you do this delivery method, so the construction manager and the design team work and collaborate together. So you want people that can work together. Yeah. So we'll get that and get them on board, and I would see probably having a full team by July or August. Okay. And then they're starting schematic design, and working through the process. And have we could probably get a guaranteed maximum price. I mean, while they're gonna budget and cost estimate, as they do the designs, but as they go through design, I put in the RFP today, a guaranteed maximum price in December.
Okay. Yeah, and they'll be tracking price at each design phase, just so they can hit that GMP.
Correct, and then we're looking to get the GMP, have enough design done and get the guaranteed maximum price in December, and that will give us ample time to kind of get into, that contract and be ready to go for the spring of 25.
Yeah.
That's the initial schedule and the initial thinking right now.
Yeah, and the good thing, the CM will be able to do all the bidding stuff as well, you guys will be involved, but they'll lead it,
Yeah, we wrote it in there that we review things to the extent we want to.
Yeah.
They have to show us their bids. We review them. It's open book. We can, we have to review and non-objection. So if we feel strongly about something, we can make our opinion known. But ultimately, it's the construction manager.
Yeah.
That does all the bidding and so forth.
So your RFP, did you have something good sounds like you've got a decent handle on that. Did somebody give you an old one or something from another town or anything?
Yeah, I took this, there was quite a few of them around in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
That I took. I had a couple of CMs and some people in the business send me some. Okay. I got a couple in Vermont. I got a couple in few from New Hampshire, and you just look at them all. They're all about the same, but I took all the good parts from everything and combined it into one. They are.
Okay. Very good.
I mean, I'd be happy to share that with you. I think the timing might be a little tough. If I had a draft, I just basically finished it today. One of them, but I think our time frame isn't such that maybe I can just send it to you guys individually and see if you can take a look, and if you're willing to take a look and provide any review and comment, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, you could do that. It sounds like though you don't want a long review period, right? You're trying to get this.
No, we want to kind of turn this around and we're pretty comfortable. I think I'm pretty comfortable with the draft that I kind of created today. So, yeah, but just major points. I'm not missing anything, really big, and so.
Yeah. Please send that out. Then we'll take a look.
Dave, your procurement policy, are you required to go out to a certain number of firms?
Well, no, not a certain number of firms. It's just a process. With professional service contracts, you got to put an RFP out in general circulation, paper of general circulation. Sometimes we can't control what comes back. A lot of times we'll get approved vendor lists from the state and so forth and do a direct email campaign of the RFP. We put the RFP on our website. So, but we don't have a minimum number. We try to get 3. But, we ideally would want a minimum of 3, but if we don't, then that's, we work with it or we go back out.
Okay. So just thinking, so you have to put it on, you have to advertise it or whatever this certain ways, right? So that I'm just wondering on both.
It has to go in the newspaper.
Okay. Well, I guess Yeah. When you guys selected La Valley, though, didn't you pre-qualify? How did you?
Nope.
No, you just because you didn't through. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I went off a list of architectural firms that DOT, I think, has a list of consultants,
Yeah.
not that we use that exclusively, but we get their list and we email it to them, we put it in the union leader, we put it on our website.
Yeah.
And we had no issue. I think we had 16, 17 proposals come in on that.
Yeah. I think it was. Well, it's fine. I was just thinking as far as the selecting to streamline it, if you would to try to basically you can combine your RFP. I mean, we talked about this before. I think it was more on the FCA about an RFQ first, and then maybe we did it on the public safety. I can't remember. But we talked about doing an RFQ, then sending out. Then you could just send a request for proposals to those pre-qualified lists. But I mean, it adds a little bit of time. But I guess if you could also combine it into one request for proposal, but you have a requirement for qualifications, right? So that you're not just getting any CM to submit. You're going to be, I guess, you'd be strict probably on who you are looking for, right? I'm guessing, do you have qualifications in this that a CM has to have experience with this type of construction and things like that?
Yep.
Did you put that in there? Yeah.
Okay. I wrote in minimum qualifications.
Yeah.
I think it was 3, you can either do 3 or 5 years. I think I did 3 years experience actually building police and fire stations.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to provide 3 case studies of recent projects in the last 5 years that you've done with a similar type and scope.
Okay.
We ask a lot of questions to flesh it out. And there's a lot of interest. I've been getting a lot of interest. People are reaching out, so I think we should get a good response.
Yeah.
There have been quite a few towns that have had a police or fire station up for renewal. Yeah, for a vote, and some of them have passed and some of them haven't, and they commiserated with me on last year's loss and this year's gain. So some of those are already happening. I know, but so there are going to be people looking for work.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Anything else, Dave, on this? So I'll stop in tomorrow. I'll help whatever way I can as far as what I can offer you. So.
Yeah, much appreciated. We're excited to get going. It's an exciting project for the town.
Yeah.
Big deal.
It is, yeah, for sure. All right, so next we had review of 2024 goals. We'll table that. We're missing meeting minutes from last month when we talked about that. So
Did Rob send something right out after the meeting?
he did, but he sent the agenda from the meeting.
He didn't
Yeah, he attached the wrong document. So
Okay.
and he didn't get a chance to do it before you.
Been there and done that.
Yeah.
So all right, so next we have his new business. So all around. So Dan.
I'm good.
Yeah, I would like to talk about the town hall. We have had a consultant that's come and helped us with accessibility and OSHA standards.
Yep.
And they've come up pretty much with the final design, and we have a semi-small stakeholders group that we got input. There are people or groups that use the facility the most. We looked at 2 or 3 years worth of permits that were pulled from Parks and Rec, and asked those folks to come and review the building and tell us what they wanted to see. And this was quite a while ago. And then I've been working with the assistant town manager and the architects to go over to what they're going through their process, and so we could see that they're not missing some of the key things that we heard. And it's ready for that user group to see it again before we start talking about it, whether it's going to be a real project or not. But I'd like to show you folks that, and I won't be able to make the April meeting. So.
Okay.
I may be able to send the documents out soon after that user group meeting. We can get comments from them.
I think you sent those documents a while ago.
I sent the very
I remember
first-
seeing those.
Very first,
Okay.
Iteration.
that had the,
That's more
historical
study.
review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when Rob was going to attend those, so was he able to attend?
No, he's never been able to.
Okay.
It's unfortunate. The first couple were at the town hall, so then we just didn't have the capacity of doing that with a large group. We had this. But really it was just about the handicap accessibility and fire safety, fire code safety.
So it's fire, not OSHA, but fire.
Well, safety.
Okay, so safety grades.
Yeah. So it's mostly dealing with behind the stage, putting in a family bathroom, and redoing the new bathrooms that we have. Unfortunately, so it can use all the things that are there. We just need to move a wall, and but there'll be a family bathroom and then a men's and women's or whoever room
In the building.
in the building.
Nice.
Now, the big thing about it is to do that, we have them all in the basement. Because the thing we heard loud and clear from everyone, because I had pictured putting the bathroom in that right off in the green room, right off to the right, in the end.
Right. The old selectman team.
Template.
Teleport.
Yeah. But that was overwhelmingly by the group that we were meeting with saying, no, that's really self.
Oh.
And so it's a room that they want available for adding on to their presentations. So that, changed a lot of perspective.
So where are you going with this?
Well, we're going down to the location where they currently are and extending it. You'll see on the plan.
This is in the lower level where the finance team
Yeah.
is. Okay.
And it will involve, instead of that graded asphalt drive that we don't use, except for to park in, it would flatten that out so that the entrance would be on the side of the building instead of on the front.
But you can access it from the interior of the building.
Yes, you can by elevator. And this is where the
Elevator only.
Yes, because the private part, the public access has to be limited to, stay away from the finance department in that area. So it's outdoor access or elevator. And this is where the expense comes in, is the elevator. What we heard is we want to be able to load our equipment and our scenery right at stage level, and we want to be able to get to the bathrooms. And you want a bathroom up in the green space for the performers that have a bathroom up there too. So that they have more room. Right now they just have a little bit of space behind the curtain. And then I stop at the current art gallery upstairs. So it's a lot of stops.
So this is a new elevator.
Yes, because that's to open on a couple of different sides.
Yeah.
But it also requires probably some kind of jackhammering in the lower level because it's right in the rock. So that's going to be the expensive part. But what this will do with the fire-rated stairwells to get down from the attic to grade can be done interiorly, so we can take the fire escape off. Which would be really nice. And there are actually grants available for doing this kind of work, especially upgrading for accessibility issues. So
And you have a document.
we will. It's not finished.
Okay.
So you have, this is the design that you're talking about is for the ADA upgrades and ADA and safety upgrades that are being triggered by the proposed use of the building.
Right, and the other is also HVAC systems. They were talking about these mini splits to get all the spaces and.
There's no cooling currently. Yeah, it's just heat.
Right.
So you're talking about in the main auditorium?
Yeah, as much as we can do, yeah. But
Yeah.
definitely upstairs in the art gallery and spaces that are used as offices.
Yeah. But when does this start to trigger? You say ADA and safety, about fire protection and all these other
The fire
things.
protection there is okay, what we have currently.
Is there there's a sprinkler system and a fire alarm system?
Yep.
Well, what about ventilation and some of these other
Well,
things?
that's the thing, is
Right.
that we have to figure out, and we haven't talked about that in detail with the architect yet.
Okay,
And we know we can do it in the newer spaces that are gonna be, upgraded. But how to actually do the main gallery hasn't really been explained to me.
I mean, you're gonna have to introduce air, and then you're talking about
Yes.
air handling.
Yeah, oh yeah, we
Yeah.
know there's a space for it. We know where we wanna put the things.
Yeah, but then I guess then when you get into the air conditioning side, where are you gonna put out the outdoor equipment?
That we can put out back, out behind it.
Okay.
There's not a space there.
Okay,
So we won't see it. We're gonna change it's proposed,
Which back?
next to
The south side or the west side?
west side.
West side.
facing the parking?
No.
No,
you're talking-
on the
okay.
bathroom side.
Oh, okay. Noise might be an issue. So,
With our neighbors.
mhm.
Okay, we'll have to put that in there, yeah.
I mean, it could be, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's on that end of
Is there some
of
kind of
water.
preliminary list of what you're considering?
Or
I know you don't have a document yet.
for the types of systems.
Yeah, just like I mean, it's a big, potentially a big project. It would be great if this committee could give feedback. Is there a document, like a pre-document?
There will be recommendations.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the architect?
Yeah, they're not going into full design. They're
Yeah.
just there for the assessment of, and
So would that be something you guys could take a look at?
Oh, yeah, I'd love, whatever, yeah, I mean, I would love to. This gets back to if you're gonna, because I know this is gonna cost money, but as far as just, if you're gonna do it right. And then that, you try to do this little piece and then it just gets into, this is where the snowball effect starts to happen,
Sure.
right? And then, are you always gonna keep those spaces? Is the program set that you're not gonna make any changes to the program? I mean, the second floor, is that set that you're good? I mean,
no, not yet.
so yeah, so I mean,
I mean, definitely, this is what, again, you were hearing from the people who use it the
Yeah.
most, and we haven't gone out to the general public, it's
Yeah.
just an idea.
Yeah,
And, we haven't talked to the selectmen even about it yet.
right.
right.
Um,
I mean, my first reaction is the restroom piece on the main floor would seem to be really important.
yeah,
And I understand that, having that space to sell things in, it's nice, but it's not necessary. Restrooms in that main floor would seem to me to be
well, that was also concerned for,
just a quick take.
yeah, and just a
Not
quick
really thinking
answer.
it through.
Yeah, Jeff Beck at Public Works is concerned about putting a bathroom on this corner
Yeah,
because of the sewer lines and connection there.
okay.
But when they size the bathrooms, I mean, they're looking at that main space being used, though, right?
Yeah, we gave them the occupancy and,
And they feel like that they can get those numbers down just on the lower level,
well, the lower level, plus there's gonna be one,
plus up
and
on.
there's already one for the
Okay,
art gallery.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would like to take a look at it and see if as far as what.
Yeah.
Because we had talked about this as, trying to make sure that, like, you would form the committee to get user stakeholder input and making sure that you can really nail down the use of the building. And, I mean, the other part would be the electrical requirements. I don't know what the shape of the electrical is for the building.
You know, I
So-
think I don't know, actually, I don't think the conditions assessment really went into the whole system as completely, especially the electricity, because there are fuse boxes all over the place.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, whether that's necessary or not, or can we combine, like, there's some right next to each other.
Okay,
This doesn't go into the whole lighting and sound aspect, that's a different thing that we need to look at in the end when we make a proposal for making changes to the town hall. We really want to have the body of what we need to do, so we don't take apart something we've done and then put it back or change it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point. I mean, it would be good to see what the FCA has for that building, and just so if you're getting ready to replace, if the electrical system needs to be replaced because of age or condition, then
in reviewing it, I think it said everything was still good, new enough. I think by the time we get to do something over there, might be time to replace some of the things.
Yeah,
The timing might be right, but I think it's got a newer, because we were getting away from oil-based systems and going to gas for heating in all the buildings at one point, and I think the town hall got done. It's got a
yeah. I just don't know how you would get away from not adding ventilation when you're talking about, upgrading the building and then,
that's an absolute.
yeah.
So what's the architect, what are they doing now? Are they doing like a concept design or a schematic design or?
It's deeper than schematic, but not quite working.
Okay. Are they tracking like the level of renovation?
Yeah.
Is that triggering?
Because they have, it's triggering some of the things. If the last time you were on the tour, you might remember the stage height had been lifted at one point, so when you go behind it, you can see a door that's been painted brown, but if you open the cupboard underneath, you can see the rest of the door used to be green or something like that. And then, so there's another place where we're going to be closing off a door that is unused already.
Yeah, so the architect should be tracking the level of renovation.
Yeah.
What sort of code updates that's going to trigger.
Yeah. It's that and also the historical aspect too, that there are things that we definitely don't want to touch. And one of the last things we talked about was the balcony.
Yeah.
And because of needing the egress for fire safety and getting the fire stairway would be down near the elevator. And we only have one row of seats in there.
What type of oversight happens for a historic, it's a registered historic building with the state?
It is not yet.
Okay.
It is listed as part of the whole Front Street Historic District is listed on the register, and that's a contributing resource. But it's never been an individual recognition, just something that the Heritage Commission is trying to work on. And the state's like, just send us your name. Because they came and did a tour.
Yeah, what kind of oversight does that, maybe you run into this at PEA, I don't know, but what happens during
It's really an honorarium. You get a National Register recognition, and then...
Right, but then when you go to renovate it, is there someone who comes and inspects it every once in a while as you go through construction, or look at it at the end?
Don't you still have to go to the state preservation office?
Once you're on the National Register, no. Even if on the state register, no, there's not, it's like I said, an honorarium.
Okay.
You get recognized, and then, if you don't tell them you did anything.
I remember
sort of an honor, like I said.
I remember working on a mill building in Manchester, and there was somebody from the national level that we had to review. I think those were on national registers, and there was a guy for, I think it was National Park Service, I think.
Yeah,
they're the ones that provide oversight. So I think we had to send him the plans to review and stuff.
Well, that may be, but
and I don't know if he ever came on site to do an inspection after.
Well, the parts that we're looking at changing are not
exterior.
Not exterior, and they're not original to the building.
Okay. Yeah.
So as far as we can tell.
So did the balcony not get triggered for accessibility access?
That's what it got triggered for.
But the elevator doesn't go to the balcony though. So, but there's no way to have, you don't have accessibility to the.
No, I think that's why it's gonna have 5 stops. It must be one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would expect that's severe. You'd have to make that accessible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a door on the other side that goes to a stairwell.
So the lowest level where the restrooms are going to be,
Ground level.
main level, balcony, Oh, stage, balcony,
in our
and then
gallery.
second level.
Yeah. And we can decide, sorry about getting to the stage, but
I mean, you could come up with another way to get to the stage from the main level. What's the height of the stage?
it's huge.
Oh,
It's maybe 4 feet or more. It's just about here on me, so.
so but, I mean, it may not be any cost difference, but you could have a different way from the main floor up to the stage, right? You don't have to have that as a stop.
Well, if you had a ramp or something, you could make a ramp, I guess, but
No, you'd have a separate lift. You'd have a separate lift.
Oh, yeah, like
yeah.
that.
So you could have it hidden, not hidden, but behind. So you could have performers and audience could get up to if needed to get to the stage, right? So
Well, that's why I want to bring it here, so.
yeah, I mean, but it may not be. I mean, just maybe more out of convenience because I don't know where the elevator is placed compared to the stage, but
is there an elevator now?
Yeah, on the back corner.
It just goes from the access on the south side,
Goes from
which has a
floor.
ramp,
Yeah.
and it goes up to the second floor. It was installed by in our committee. That was in,
Yeah, they raised the funds for it, didn't they?
yeah.
So anyway, that's.
no, that's good. So town hall. So you're going to send us what you have for documents now.
When
Yeah.
did you get some? I don't know if you have.
We have
Latest.
not quite the latest
Okay.
ones.
Okay.
Because we sent them back for a couple of different measurements because of getting the finance department and the Chamber of Commerce to have two ways of egress. We didn't change the ramp slope to the outdoors
And
and
just,
not block them.
just to be clear, you're developing this project to go to the voters at some point.
Oh, yeah,
in the future.
it's going to be expensive. So, yeah.
There's no funding currently, it's all prospective.
Yeah.
Got it.
So you'll share with us the progress set that you have that focuses ADA and safety upgrades, and then you're also getting input from stakeholders. That's part of the process. And then part of this is that you're considering HVAC upgrades and just trying to determine the scope of that.
I'll tell you one of the things that I thought about it, and I didn't want to think about it for that building. Actually, was doing a heat curtain at the main entrance to
Yeah.
the hallway, so
Yeah.
we could have the front doors open in a winter event
Yeah.
and not have the cold air blasting everyone on the main floor. But that's I'm not doing that. It's all over Europe and the open markets. Why can't I do it here?
Yeah.
Well, we do them a lot in commercial buildings too, but they're in lieu of like a vestibule. 'Cause
Well,
now,
yeah.
now they're required to have vestibules on these buildings or an air curtain.
When we do an event, the doors are so big that you
Yeah.
don't want to keep pulling.
Yeah.
I have a hard time opening the front, never mind the one that's inside.
Yeah.
And those doors can't be replaced because they're historical.
I would not allow that.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Or I would make a strong argument against it.
Yeah, no, I was asking because,
Well, I cannot allow anything that would.
Go to you for new business.
Nothing from me.
Dave, anything for new business?
I don't have anything, thank you.
And neither do I. So let's make a motion to
Yeah, motion to adjourn. I guess.
second.
it's like,
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you
Dave.
for tuning in to
Thanks, Dave.
Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and